Okay, it's astrology time, and today we're going to have a pretty unique take on some astrology. And if you're easily offended, or if you're politically motivated, or something like that, you're best off to skip this. Okay. Other than that, let's talk about this because we have Pluto conjunct Aquarius. So there's some things, not Pluto conjunct, Mercury conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. How's that? Now, with that being said, there's some things that have to be said about this because we're going to speak to change and a little bit of what should be going on socially as far as revolutions are concerned. But before we do that, the moon's in Pisces all day long. So once again, the daydreamer will take center stage. Oh yeah, Pisces energy manifested itself so weirdly, yet so on point yesterday for me. I don't know how it worked for you, but leave me some comments, right? There were odd dreams of past encounters. My daughter was texting me back and forth about my grandmother's family in Pennsylvania. Plus, I was able to render a design for work in what I consider to be fairly rapid time, right? Almost like a record, but it was pretty complicated, but it happened really fast, right? So, today, I think we can expect more of the same, right? Now, this is a recurring theme I find with Pisces, right? It tends to get nostalgic. The water signs are places where our memories are held or even created, right? Pisces is wistful. Cancer memories are more home-related and familial. Yes, that's it. But we also like to create new memories when the sun is in Cancer. Think about it. Summer begins, 4th of July, all that stuff, right? Right through the middle of July, right? A lot of vacations, a lot of summertime memories, a lot of pictures from that time too, right? And whereas in Scorpio, those memories, they're fuel for action, right? Gonna get even. All right, so today is one of those days where we reach out to our old contacts, okay, build upon our older bodies of work, and try to get the process moving forward. Okay? There's new opportunities that are going to arise from these older contacts. Mercury is conjunct Pluto, and right around noon on the East Coast, okay? And this message is very clear. The ultra-wealthy have no clue. Think about what came out of Davos yesterday, with the things that people are saying that are there, right? That can afford to be there, the private jet parking and all that stuff, right? In Switzerland. So, look, they've rigged the system. And now it is up to all of us to unfuck it. That's it, right? Very plain and simple. Today's keyword is remember. Now, the color is swirling water in a white vessel. Think about what that brings to mind. We need more data. How many times are we going to hear this, okay? Socialism is bad. No, that's not. Distortions are bad, right? Most of the civilized world has universal health care. We don't here. We got to make people money, right? We want to make people money. This is Mercury conjunct with Pluto inspired content, okay? I have a social obligation to put some of these thoughts out there. Think about what the tax rate was on corporations in the United States way back, right? Even before the first Trump administration, right? Back in the 50s and 60s, that money was poured into infrastructure. Say like, the interstate highway system was built then. Head Start programs, right? Or how about NASA, the space program? We also had defense funding, but, we had a lot of technological advances that were funded from those that was brought on as an offshoot of those NASA programs. Now, we didn't have to borrow massive amounts of capital, nor were we borrowing massive amounts of capital to pay interest on the capital that we borrowed. We took it in as tax revenue. Now, we have lower obligations for the wealthy, and there are no guardrails on how these corporations and wealthy individuals can contribute to political causes. And this is where we find ourselves, right? Now we find tariffs and tax dollars are being taken from us, allocated without a vote in Congress, to fund the largest private army that is being mobilized specifically against the people, us, right? We're we're paying signing bonuses of $50,000 in many cases to the very people who violently entered the Capitol building on January 6th. How can this type of enforcement not be violent and unhinged? Law enforcement officers should not be covering their faces unless they are a de facto secret police. Okay, now, ice aside, taxes today benefit the rich on the backs of everyone. Everyone else. And I mean everyone. There. That is my nostalgic musing. So, what is a moon cat to do in this situation, right? Well, we speak up and we align ourselves with people who are willing to call out and challenge this corrupted system. Now, I'm not accusing anybody of corruption, yet somehow going to Washington to serve your country as an elected representative creates millionaires, and therein lies the problem. The people are no longer heard. The money is what? The money is, right? Now, the entire system is corrupted. For us, we need to find strength in what it was and evoke it in a newer and novel ways, right? That's what we want to do. If you're working towards this, bless you, okay? If you're working to expose this, bless you. Here's where the nostalgic moon can be brought into play, right? They're attempting to use technology to scrub away their sins and transgressions. Paper ballots, they work. The internet, that's forever, right? Now, work on what it is that you need to do, not only to help this situation, but to get through your day, okay? Think about it that way. Okay, so, there. Now, that was quite the departure. It really is up to us to speak out from time to time, not from a position of animosity, but from a place of common decency and respect for all the people who choose to call this planet home. Reach out to your guides and ask them what they think, okay? Yeah. Okay, so now that's what I got for you, astrologically speaking. Quite a big amount, right? A lot on our plate. Don't be afraid to do it. In 1908, Katie Mulcahy, there's a household word for you, name for you, right? Is arrested for lighting a cigarette, violating a one-day-old Sullivan ordinance in New York City banning women from smoking in public, and is fined $5. Now, that's not entirely true, so we'll get into that in a minute. Appearing before the judge, she states, I've got as much right to smoke as you have. I never heard of this new law, and I don't want to hear about it. No man shall dictate to me. Go, Katie. All right, the Sullivan Ordinance was a municipal law passed on January 21st, 1908 by New York City, in New York City by the Board of Aldermen, barring the management of a public place from allowing women to smoke within their venue. The ordinance did not bar women from smoking in general, nor did the ordinance bar women from smoking in public, only public places. Right after the ordinance was enacted on January 22nd, Katie Mulcahy, that's it, she was arrested and fined. She refused to pay the $5, so she was arrested. Okay, so she was cited for breaking it, and then she refused to pay it, so then she was arrested. All right, and she refused to pay the fine. However, the ordinance itself did not mention fines, nor did it ban women from smoking in public. Okay. She was released the next day. The mayor at the time, George B. McClellan Jr., vetoed the ordinance 2 weeks later. And our birth, let's get some happy stuff going here, right? Sam Cooke, born in 1931. Died in 1964. He's the American singer and entrepreneur who is described as the inventor of soul music. You know him for You Send Me, and a Change Is Gonna Come. And he's born in Clarksdale, Mississippi. And that's no accident, is it? Not at all. There are no such thing as accidents in this world, especially my world. All right, let's recap, shall we? Today's keyword is remember, and the color is swirling water in a white vessel. That's all I got for you. Thank you so much. If you stayed with me for the whole thing, thank you. I really appreciate it. Drop me some comments below. You may disagree. That's fine. That's fine. It's okay, right? If you agree, yeah, do it. Okay. Anyway, so keywords, remember, swirling water in a white vessel. Today's the 6th. Happy astrocatting. Appreciate and love everybody. Bye.